Okay, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the internet where your cesspool is my jacuzzi. My name is Lauren Neidigh, but if you're here, you probably already knew that. We have Leila from PS Creative Studios with us today to give us another update on her legal case involving the Laura Owens saga. Leila, how have you been, and how was your holiday?
I've been pretty good. Really freaking busy, which is always a blessing. Our busy season kicks off January 2nd and goes pretty much until we hit summer out here in Arizona. And then people kind of start to calm down and go on their vacations with kids. But from now till June, it's going to be chaotic but fun. How about you? What's new?
Not too much. Went back to work. I was in Nashville last weekend, so I went back to work like normal on Monday, and since then I've just been trying to get to the next Saturday. So, pretty much like everyone.
So what were you doing in Nashville? Was it work or were you there for something fun?
No, I went. So there's a show that I like called Wentworth, and everybody's probably heard me talk about this to death. But it's a women's prison drama, and it was based in Australia. And the actresses will come over here to do these conventions, and I like to edit their show reels, and they'll play like before they come on the stage and everything like that. So I do that every time, and then I'll go out there and just have fun and like see the actresses and lots of friends that I've made and stuff like that. I've been like, it's got to be like 15 of them now, and I've gone to Australia a few times, 4 times I think for these, and I'll be going back in June hopefully. So
That's awesome. That's such like a niche interest. I love hearing those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's been good. I've definitely so I tell people when I do YouTube, I'm just kind of like, here I am talking, take what you can get. Like, but when it comes to like actual editing, like I'm a good editor. Like I know what I'm doing. I definitely know my way around the editing.
But wait, do you know how to sync audio with video?
I do if I have to, yeah. Oh. I saw this one guy, his name was Sean. He was showing people how to do it. It seemed really easy. I don't know.
I know. I mean, it is pretty simple when you get down to the brass tacks, but not for everyone.
Karen O'Mara says, is Wentworth only in Australia? Well, the show was in Australia. You used to be able to watch it on Netflix, but now you have to like VPN it. So yeah. Anyways, so we talked last time about you had that whole Stripe case going on, right? And then that was resolved. What happened with that?
So our lawyer said if somehow the bank says, hey, we're going to let her, she wins, you lose essentially, then that's when things can start to escalate. However, if the bank rules in your favor and says, no, this was a fraudulent chargeback and we are going to reinstate the money back to you, then that pretty much drops that dead in the water. And so as most people who are paying attention know, that is exactly what happened. So we did end up getting the money back. We were charged some fees, but it's not worth the headache of continuing down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So that has concluded on that part. And as far as we know, she has not made any further defamatory statements via her lawyer towards us. So, you guys everybody's on the front lines, and I feel like we're like second, third, fourth line. So hard to keep up with everything as so much shit has happened since the last time we talked in this whole saga, but trying my best. I did get a good background on the entire case after reading that response from Clayton.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I was like, 60 pages of now understanding exactly what happened here.
Yeah, no, I brought my laptop all the way to Nashville and was like, I have to, if it comes out, I have to read it. So, because me and Bruce and Snitzel Ninja, sometimes Brad will join us, Omar joins us. We like have fun reading those things. So it shouldn't be fun, but it is, so.
No, 100%. I mean, there's just so many freaking layers to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in shock though, that this has been going on since 2014. Just the whole ecosystem of it, mind boggled.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. And who knows when it'll end, because he was saying recently, if the judgment gets overturned or if they win the appeal, like she's going to sue everyone. I'm just like, oh, good. So which one of you is going to sue me, you or your client? Like, which one is it? But, I heard they named a feral cat after me. There's lots of stuff going on here. So like,
that's like the ultimate compliment. I love cats. I love feral cats. Like I have 2 at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would not take any offense to that.
No, I just don't care.
Guys, stop complimenting me.
Yeah, right. So yeah, there's been lots of just like little petty things going on. I feel like nothing major, right? They were just waiting for the response and they got it, and I know he said his response or his next filing wasn't going to come in this week because he's got a lot of stuff going on, but he had the time to tweet that he had a conversation with your lawyer. So
oh yeah,
I guess
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm catching up with you because I have been so out of the loop because I've been so freaking busy. So I have other things that I want to touch on before we get to that fun little segment. But she started a podcast. Is that real?
So there's a promo out. She hasn't put any episodes out. She used to have a podcast with her mom. It was called Nobody Told Me. And so she's calling this podcast Somebody Told You. And from what I remember of that promo, because I actually did listen to it, as hard as that was to do, she was just like blaming everything on everyone else and basically saying like the judge, her and the judge's father and all that stuff. The judge's father, clearly she's biased, and she didn't say it in those words, but it was just all kinds of like, I don't know. It was just all kinds of like made up bullshit, but it's what you would expect it to be, pretty much.
And then the GoFundMe, that was bonkers to watch.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it's still going, guys. Do you know if it's still going? They'll have to tell us, but I know they were up to 60K, so they raised it to 100K, and I think at one point they raised it to 120K, and then he and Laura came out and did a YouTube video where they said, her legal fees were paid by an anonymous family member, but it totally wasn't her parents. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Have they been paid? Is it true?
I think they did pay him for the initial case. He's not getting paid for the appeal, to my knowledge. I believe he said that if they win the appeal, they'll ask for attorney's fees, and he'll ask for like $100,000 or something. But I don't think that he's getting paid right now.
So the 150K that was owed is done.
Oh no, that's the 150K that's owed is like, it's still, she hasn't paid any of it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
No, I mean her lawyer's fees for during the trial.
Okay, got it.
No, not the no, she wouldn't pay Clayton a dime unless she absolutely had to.
Yeah, I was about to say that resolved way too easily for how this whole saga has unfolded, if you will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't see that happening. I think that she would probably like tie it up or move money around or something so she wouldn't have to pay. But it's interesting because she said in her, sometime in the hearing, I think, that she was making like $200K a year out of something she does with her mom. And so it's like, obviously you can pay some of those fees. So unless something happens, but I don't know, maybe she'll make something happen, we'll see.
Huh. Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Sorry, somebody says her Patreon has 6 members. That's funny because I only had 8 paid Patreon members when her lawyer was threatening to sue me over the Patreon fees that I was making. I was like, I make 8. No, I didn't have 8 paid members. I made $8. That's right. He's like, I'm going to sue her. She makes economic benefits from Patreon. I was like, $8.
Yeah, you can have it, sir. What's your Venmo?
Dollars.
Right here and now. I'll give you half. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, so I think everybody knew this is actually a positive thing that we were renovating our office. So my team was off for 2 weeks for Christmas, and I decided to stick around and redo a bunch of shit. So I stayed pretty busy. And I had mentioned in the last live I did with you, which must have been a couple days before Christmas, that, we had a lot of things that we were getting rid of. And if you were in Scottsdale and you needed some stuff, shoot me a message. So anyways, after somebody saw our live that night, I got an email and they were like, hey, my mom and I have been hit with some terrible health situations, and we could really use a handful of the things that you had mentioned. Would you be willing? And I was like, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Mind you, I had like all these other people, not from our live, who were like coming from, Facebook Marketplace and stuff, who wanted to come and grab stuff. So I called all that off, and then I was like, can you guys pick it up? And she said, no, unfortunately, we aren't able to drive. And I was like, no problem. So hired a guy. He came, picked everything up, hand delivered it, helped them set it up, and it was great. And that was all through A, this community, and B, you and I just having a normal ass conversation. So as much as people like to say, hey, Bruce, that only bad things happen here, I think that was kind of like a nice, warm, like positive thing to come of the holiday season. And just, none of us would be together and talking if we hadn't been victimized in some way, shape, or form. So, silver lining.
No, that's true. I mean, that's nice that something good came out of it, especially that you guys like hired someone to drive over there and everything. So
Yeah, well, I don't have that large of a car, so I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna have somebody.
yeah, yeah. Well, still,
I've made
I
you live
mean,
in enough.
what else would they have done if you didn't do that? You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool of you.
Yeah, but I want you to know that, like, people on your platform,
Oh
they
yeah,
feel
yeah.
comfortable enough to do that, and that's freaking awesome. So if said person is watching, hello, I hope everything's good and that, you guys are on the mend in 2025.
Mhm.
But while we were renovating our office, we did install security cameras because you just never know what's going to happen these days.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So-
definitely true. So, yeah, I was thinking about that too. I should probably get one just for my house.
Probably
Mm.
should.
I think Bruce is joining us from his van.
Hello, Bruce. How are you? Happy
He's doing the
2024.
van life. Yeah,
I'm on a loose. I'm on a secret mission.
a secret
Ooh.
mission.
Yeah.
Is it
Are
what's
you
secret
camping
about
out in Scottsdale, like tracking
Oh
people
God.
there?
Oh no. Well, based on the pouring down rain and cold temperatures, I'm nowhere near Scottsdale, so
He's outside your studio right now.
marked safe from whatever.
Oh man. Yeah, it was freezing in Arizona, and by freezing I mean it was like 50 degrees and we were all whining, and now it's 70 degrees today and we're all wearing sweaters, sweating our asses off. So it's always fun in the
Yeah.
desert. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I lived out in Tucson for a couple years, so
The dirty
It's-
tea.
yeah. I guess. I mean,
That's
we
what everyone here calls it. I've only been down there a couple of times for like random stuff, but
yeah.
sure, it's nice.
I mean, I had some people who called Tempe the dirty tea, so I don't know, like
well, that's
whichever
I think
one.
it's the ASU versus U of A rivalry. It's like
Yeah.
talk shit back and forth to one another. I didn't go to either school, so I don't give a shit. But
Oh man, yeah. Well, I went to Florida first, and then I went to grad school at FSU, so I was more invested in that than I was in the ASU Arizona rivalry. So
makes sense.
yeah, okay. Let me see. What was it here? Sorry, I wanted to address this really quickly. Hi, Lauren. You seem sad. I hope you know how awesome you are. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment, but also I just got off of work 15 minutes ago, so that is just my resting sad face that I have when I'm on the clock. That's just how it is. I can't help it. It's my face. I'm not sad. We're good. All right. Well, do you want to tell us a little more about what's been going on with your lawyer and all that stuff?
Yeah, so he obviously the holidays slow everything down, but he did a deep investigation into just kind of who her lawyer is. So because I haven't taken the time to do that, right? I see a couple of tweets here and there. I see this and that, but I'm not a deep dive expert on her attorney.
Yeah.
So got some background and light on that front. And then he said, let's just wait and see how things play out, and let's touch base like last week. I was like, okay, that's fine. So I have notes because I'm supposed to say certain things and not supposed to say certain things. I need to like review so I don't shoot
That's
myself.
totally that's totally fair. Yeah.
But the bar investigation, I think, is actually heating up. So that should be, who knows how long that kind of thing takes. He says they're not usually quick. However, my lawyer had nothing to do with any of that. That happened before I had retained this specific firm to work with. I have a business lawyer, so that's the other thing. When I first was threatened via email after we had them in studio, he said, introduce me immediately to your lawyer. And I talked to my business lawyer, and I'm like, this isn't really like the right fit. This guy writes contracts and stuff for me, but this seems like it's a little bit more outside of scope. And just, I was like, I am not a litigious person. I'm gonna hold off. And then, stuff and stupid shit kept happening, and that tweet that was live and the defamation and the shitty audio quality and all this stuff keeps spiraling. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to roll over. This is my business. This is my legacy. I'm going to stand up and defend it. And then our studio producer, who was actually here with them that day, his father happens to be a partner at a huge firm. And he was telling his dad about the whole thing. He's like, you won't believe like what Leila was dealing with. And then we got connected to the Rose Law Group.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And then there you go. So
did you tag them somewhere? I feel like I saw that law firm
yes.
on Instagram now. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll follow
They're
that.
massive. They literally represent people in all different types of varieties of law. It's not just like a one size fits all kind of firm. So ended up working with them. And then, there's the discovery process, which takes time, takes money to understand, hey, what are we actually dealing with? They had to sift through my entire Dropbox of crap, of detailed this, that, and the other. And so fast forward, that's where we're at. Then he decided to give her lawyer a phone call yesterday because I said, you know what? I don't want to be an internet bully. That's never been my MO. I am running a successful business. So let's see if we can just all be adults. And then, of course, 4 seconds after they hang up, hey, you want to see what the conversation that I had? If he would like to share that, that's his volition. And what happens after that happens after that. But in terms of the contents of their conversation, which I know everybody is dying to know, I am not sharing that on my behalf because I was not on the phone call. So I would not be doing the conversation justice. And my lawyer is not looking to be YouTube famous, so I don't suspect.
Most of them aren't. Yeah.
I don't suspect he's interested in that either. I did just see, though, somebody had screenshotted me. It's like so-and-so asking the cops to arrest the podcast lady for acting like a complete psycho, which in my humble opinion, she is. The cops will not, unfortunately, arrest people just for being idiots because it's not a crime. Okay. Very professional. Also included screenshots of my lawyer's email signature and blocked out a portion of his phone number. And for what purpose? That's kind of my question. What purpose does that serve? What purpose was there to tweet the second you hang up with my lawyer that you guys had a phone call and phone conversation? I don't understand, but I know that he wants to get more views on his YouTube channel. So I'm going to let him tell that story because he was actually on the phone. I was not. So I think we all just need to sit, wait, and see.
Yeah.
What did they talk about?
Loves a good phone call, that's for sure.
Yo, that's right. Nobody wants to talk to him on the phone. He was probably so happy someone wanted to talk to him on the phone. He keeps tweeting his phone number at people.
It's sort of like, a non-legal intimidation tactic, right? And this guy is super rude. So he's just being rude. That's his nature, is just to be rude sometimes. And I don't know what to tell him other than seek therapy.
I mean, therapy might not fix it at this point. You might just have to throw the whole man away. I don't know. It's
you can rebuild. I don't know.
I just wanted to say hi really quickly to Dave and Omar who joined us in the chat. Omar says gingerbread. I haven't heard that. Gingerbread might be on his way out. I think he believes there's a real chance he's getting suspended or disbarred. I mean,
that is a very accurate assessment.
I was listening to a Rachel Juarez on Reality Steve's video, and she was saying, it would have to be kind of substantial for him to be disbarred. He has been disciplined previously, but she still doesn't think, this is a disbarment type situation. Maybe like a reprimand or something, but not necessarily a disbarment. And I gotta be honest, I know nothing about the standard it would take for a lawyer to be disbarred. So I have no idea.
Examples I've heard involve things like misuse of a client's money, for example, like embezzlement, basically, or some other major crime like that will maybe rise to the level. That's my understanding as a layman.
He's banking on Nick being his cash cow now. Laura didn't pan out. Is there another lawsuit with Nick Ritchie? I don't know anything about that. I barely know anything about the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have some business endeavors or something.
Jim says at least he's not putting his phone number out on r/teenagers yet. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Beautiful. So that's it. Also, I think the Reddit thing happened after you and I talked last as well. So that was a whole.
Well, I heard you got owned on that, right? There was just no mercy to be found in that entire situation.
Well, he was trying to be really rude to the Redditor who he was really mad about her doing the recap or whatever of his videos on Reddit, which is something you see on almost every major subreddit. I feel is people recapping stuff or talking about news or talking about stuff like that. So it's just kind of ridiculous in the first place that he tried to subpoena her. And then he was responding to some post she wrote, and he was, intelligent, so intelligent that he did not hide his own Reddit username. And he has been saying, I don't use Reddit or something like that. And of course, now he's just saying, I said I don't use I don't follow this case on Reddit or something like that. I'm just like, okay, man. And then, of course, people found his history from there, which was interesting. But Reddit has objected to that subpoena anyway, so that's going to have to be, something ongoing, unfortunately, for the Redditor in question. I mean, it's really unfair because she has not done anything wrong. That's my opinion. I don't think she's done anything wrong at all. And she seems like a really nice person. I don't know her, personally. I don't know her super well, but I know enough about this person to have interacted with them about this. Be like, hey, are you okay? Just checking in, stuff like that, to know that this is not a rude, abrasive person. And he's treating her like she's some heinous bitch. And she's just a nice, intelligent woman who was trying to speculate on a public case. So.
Well, I think that's kind of the MO, right? Calling somebody like myself a complete psycho repeatedly through his comments and through that. It's like, you guys came and used a service and then defrauded me and then defamed me, right? Who started the fight here? Not I.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have just left that alone,
Completely could have left it alone. But then the claim, not to make this about me, because I do feel really terrible for the Redditor, but they read it on their side, so there's a shit ton of money behind that.
That's true. Yeah.
I would not even stress. I wouldn't be sweating for a minute. The thing is, he claims, oh, well, I don't represent her when it comes to anything else that she does, but if you send a threatening email on behalf of representing your client to me, then that kind of institutes that, yeah, you are representing her in that capacity. You were present in the moment that was at question of coming into my offices. And I don't know. It's how do you really pick and choose in that situation? How does the court of law really look at that? Is it that clean cut of, oh, I just decided I wasn't representing her in this capacity, but I sent a threatening email to a business owner just because I can?
On would you say that's on her behalf? I feel like it was on her behalf.
Well, it was completely on her behalf. But then secondly, to post Laura wanted me to share this. Here's the audio that was so terrible, blah, blah, blah. Once again, you're acting on her behalf. She didn't go on Twitter and do that.
He doesn't have to do that either. Even if somebody's your client, you don't have to do that.
You don't. You absolutely
don't have to do that. So you can, in fact, not be a douchebag just for the sake of being a douchebag. Equality, thank you for the $5. My previous super chat didn't go through. Just wanted to say I love you guys. Well, I think we love you too, but I can only speak for myself. So
it's not official business. It's his hobby. Just being a jerk is his hobby, I guess. I don't know. And at some point, when every single person you interact with on this case is a psychotic a-hole, you got to wonder, maybe there's something wrong with you. Is it really that they all are? Or maybe you're the problem. He has to ask himself that question.
People who have those problems don't have the self-awareness to ask those questions. So,
well, yeah, I think you're right.
Well, there's also the part of he had that big profile case, which I had never heard of until my lawyer told me about the dirty thing. If something was going to make you famous, that probably would have done it, and it didn't. So here we are. How many years?
Schnitzel was saying there's a documentary coming out or a book or something, and he's going to be mentioned in the book or mentioned in the thing. So he's part of that. Okay,
well then put all your eggs in that basket, right? That was a W for you. You probably got paid on that case too.
If it's a documentary, yes. If it's a book or something like that, I feel like people are just going to overlook who was the lawyer. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it's just about the people involved. I easily, how background characters, you kind of forget about them. I feel like the lawyer in that scenario would be a background character. I don't know. That's just me. I know in a court case, of course, he's at the front line. But when people are just reading about an interesting story, you're not going to be like, who was the lawyer and what did he say?
Nope. Absolutely. If it's a movie, that'll be a whole different thing.
Yeah. Redondo Beach, thank you for the 5. Being effed by an attorney now took $1,500 and I did nothing. Now I have to deal with that. So annoyed. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty awful that people can screw you over with attorney's fees and stuff like that. If people just threatening that is enough to silence a lot of people who really don't deserve it, who really haven't done anything wrong. But to actually have to pay someone to defend you when for a fact the other party is not telling the truth, that's terrible.
No, it really is. We were talking about that actually with a client the other day who was asking, he's following all the things now. And he's like, you know what? I'm proud of you for standing up, because a lot of people probably thought that whatever happened in their incidences, it would just go away. And he's like, and clearly it just has never gone away. And now they're suffering those consequences. He's like, it's tough to stand up to people who bully their way around and seemingly, you know, in some way, shape, or form are getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, more people probably don't necessarily have the means or understand that, like, this is a series and a pattern of behavior. It's not an isolated situation.
Yeah. I feel like people who represent bigger clients and stuff like that too will see like smaller businesses or smaller outlets or people or whatever like doing something, and they'll be like, well, we just threaten them with this and it'll go away because they're not going to fight it. Nope. So yeah, and it sucks. There's like no justice in the justice system. It's terrible. At least in like civil court and stuff like that. I see a lot of stuff. I'm just like, this should absolutely not be a thing. I can't believe you're ruining this person's life with this. Or like people who come into the hospital when they're in the middle of like a custody case or something like that, and they're trying to explain everything to me, and I'm just like, I understand. Like, I know this really does happen. Like, the court really does screw you over sometimes because you can't pay for good representation, and it's not a criminal trial. So what are you supposed to do? Represent yourself? How's that going to go? Not well.
Not well.
Yeah. Ann Tuttle, thank you for the 50. My wonderful friend, you are great. Besides, you always have Bruce from Oregon there. Yeah, it's Bruce from the van now, I guess. I don't know where Bruce is.
Where the hell am I, guys? I don't even know.
Thank you, Ann. I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't know you were already traveling, so that's interesting. That's cool.
We're kicking the tires. Kicking the tires.
All right.
My next question, this is unrelated to legal ding dong stuff. Does said human actually have a boyfriend, or is that fake news? I know that you guys would all know that, but
you saw the picture. Is that it?
I saw the JFC Instagram, and I was like, I was in the middle of something. I was like, I don't have the time for this right now. I think I was in New York at work. And I was like, let's circle back to that later.
Can I say for sure that she doesn't have a boyfriend? No, but I would say no. I don't think so. But the photo that he had posted was actually of an ex-boyfriend, and she is claiming that they had like this great relationship now. And it's like, this guy wants nothing to do with any of this. So I would never, like say his name or anything, the way that they throw these things around. Like, dude, just stop. But apparently, and this is just, like I said, it's just what I've heard. I don't know this person. I can't say for certain this is what happened, but I have heard that is not exactly how that relationship went. And that she was also very abusive towards him. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if anything that they're saying about her previous boyfriends is the truth, because like, if this person has been named as like a victim for dating, this thing with Clayton, then obviously something's questionable there. So also, why are you posting a picture of a man what was it, like high school or something that they dated, or was it after high school? I don't know. I don't really remember, but why are you posting that man's picture? If your relationship was that great, you wouldn't have to blur his face out. True.
The other thing, though, I was thinking about as I'm looking at these comments is all you've got to do is Google and you'll run off. But when I was on the online dating apps, I met my husband on one in Dallas in 2021. Never did I match with a guy and run to Google and Google him. First off, you don't have a last name on most of them. Maybe you do now, but I don't think they had them back then. So that never even occurred to me to do that. And secondly, I think a lot of people operate that way still, right? Even if the last name is available, does everybody, if you're on online dating, do you just run to Google and research the person?
I mean, you might go on 3 or 4 dates first, and by that time she's had 3 sets of twins already. So I mean,
Jesus Christ.
How quick can you do a search, right?
So there's not a lot of lesbians where I live, I'll tell you. So it's not hard to find people. And so, yeah, I will go and like look sometime to make sure, do you actually have friends? Are you like a normal person? Like, you're not like a recluse who's like actually kind of a psycho and is going to need me for everything. That's kind of what I look for. But yeah, I do definitely look them up if I can. It's usually not hard to find people, especially because, they'll put like their Instagram handles and stuff like that in profiles now. Well, I don't know how long it's been since you were off of them. But now a lot of people do that.
Well, in 2021, when I was on it, it did not give me my husband's last name. I remember we'd been on like 5 dates and I still didn't know his last name. I just like kept forgetting to ask. I don't know what was wrong with me. But now maybe they do have that, and he doesn't have any social media. He's 46 and does not play into the social media game. He's like, what do I care what other people are doing? It's just like so out of his realm. He's like, I get it. Like, you make a living off that stuff, but what? Yeah. Why do people care? So I would assume that maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure the comment section will tell me that said female does not have any social media anymore, right? Because that would probably be a bombardment of comments.
She created a Twitter account at one point just to like fight with people, but that quickly stopped. And then since then, I have not seen or heard a peep from her. But it doesn't help that I blocked her also, so I don't know if she's used her Twitter account. Omar said, "Oh my God, what just happened to my light? There we go. Not scary. Sorry." Omar said, "My wife Googled me." There it is. And then this person Googled their husband. So I guess people do still do that. Oh, and then regarding
though, I think that's kind of the thing, right? Like, more likely to Google the dude than vice versa. I did.
Well, I couldn't speak to that. I guess Bruce could, because for me, it's like, well, there's no dude. So,
well, Lauren, you don't want to hook up with a recluse, so that rules me out. I mean,
yeah.
So you're not on any dating apps then.
I deleted mine, man. I was just like, I'm so sick of this. I need a break.
Yeah, they don't have last names or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but lots of Instagram handles.
You don't even need to put your real name in there. You could be the potted plant. And you're like, what is this?
Is that true? Really? I thought it had like an identity verification thing. Maybe
you don't have to. You don't have to.
Names. So the dating app knows who you are, and you can verify yourself with them. But then it'll display like if you just want initials like AB or something. You can just have initials.
That makes sense.
I could go on there and say my name is Lysandra, and then do a selfie verification, and it would verify my profile. But my name obviously isn't Lysandra. So
So it's kind of like, what the hell's the point?
Yeah. Right. Also, Schnitzel Ninja says she stalked him across state lines, the guy you were asking about before.
So, I mean, the fundamental problem is like they keep trying to bring up these things like, oh, well, she bought Mike this trip, and oh, she had this relationship that was fine back here. But I mean, one good thing does not,
negate a lot of
other bad things. If you have one great relationship and 3 where you commit crime, you still committed crime, right? You don't get to ignore it because of the one exception. Or even if it's 3 great relationships and 1 where you commit crime, you still committed crime.
The thing, I don't know why this is like taking up space in my head rent free, but I wonder, I've had plenty of relationships. All of them failed except for one. And now I'm married to the one that didn't fail. And sometimes they failed because I chose to cut them clean and move on, and other times it was the opposite. But what makes somebody so upset that the other person is no longer interested in them in some way, shape, or form, to then want to be vengeful? And like that, to me, is where the mentality like just falls off the wagon. I don't understand, right? Dating is a process of elimination. You're going to date tons and tons of people until you find the one that you're like, okay, I like you enough to take those next steps in life with. But the other 99% shouldn't, have to go through any type of wrath because they determined that you weren't the person that was going to be that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a pretty logical take on things. I think we're just dealing with someone who doesn't really work with logic.
I think it's less about the dating and more that the dating evolves into this area where something like an anxious attachment or a cluster B style of behavior takes over, right? So it's not that the goal necessarily is, oh, I'm going to date a whole bunch of people and that's going to, that's my social life. It's like this is happening, and then it gets attached to this other problem.
Which I find so sad. I find it really sad for both her and for, of course, everybody else. It's like to live that way mentally must be so exhausting.
And then Dave and Snitzel, of course, saying buying a trip plays into the financial manipulation. And I'm also, seeing it makes sense because you're seeing somebody who's like trying to give someone everything, and they're still not. They don't really want you the way that you want them, and like how dare they not keep you that back? That's kind of what I think the mindset is also. So, but yeah, and there was the whole fake Rolex situation or whatever that was. Was it Rolex, Bruce?
I don't think so. I think it was a different brand, but
I don't know I don't know watches, especially not men's watches.
I don't know.
Yeah. So there was a nice watch that she bought Mike Maricini. And apparently, like, it was like a huge deal. Like, she made like a big deal out of it or something. And then he went one time I don't remember if it was to get it appraised or if it was to get it fixed, but they told him it was a fake.
Mhm.
So
Especially, if you try to get insurance, you need the original receipt. So if it was a gift, you're like, hey, I need the original receipt. And it's like, oh, if there's a problem, just go talk to my dad. And it's like, that sounds a little, go talk to my Uncle Guido down at the whatever, a little sketchy. So you got a suitcase full of these things? What's going on?
Well, it was,
and if you have a Rolex, you definitely want to insure that thing. I mean, there's not a Rolex on the market for under like.
Yeah, it was that level. It was that level. It maybe not have been a Rolex specifically. It may have been, who knows, Breitling or something. But it was going to be on that level.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then of course the lawyers like uses that against Mike, especially. All I see is he wasn't abused. All I see is a guy whose girlfriend paid for everything and stuff like that. You're an asshole. You're an asshole. I mean, what would you say to
I mean, that's real cherry picking, right? Like, that's just.
What do you say to like a victim of like Diddy or somebody famous like that? I'm sure they're getting lots of perks, but it doesn't mean they like what they're going through. Or they want to go what they're going through. Right. A lot of them being coerced. So
yeah, all I see is some people who got to hang out with other famous people and go to parties. Oh, that's
Yeah, they felt like they didn't have a choice.
100%. Yeah. What's going on with Greg Gillespie?
So she did, renew the restraining order, or whatever you call it in Arizona, order protection. And then that was updated on the docket. I don't know if there's actually like a hearing date or anything set yet, and I don't know what he plans on doing. But she fully intends to, I guess, I don't know if it's like confirmed renewed or how that works. I don't know if they have to go through a hearing first before that's technically in place. But as far as I know, she just made it so it still stands, which is interesting given the criminal investigation that she's under and all the contradictions she made in her, statements under oath to the statements she made under oath in the Gillespie case.
What does an order of protection even do? I mean, it's not like he's contacting her, so what's the point?
Right. So she's just basically enacting it as some form of revenge or control. Like, the man wants nothing to do with her. He's got a whole family. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with her at all.
I know his wife.
So it's right. So it's not like actually doing anything.
To a job interview and explain to an employer, like, hey, I have this thing. Here's this. When you search,
so it shows up on your record.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just this way to interfere with someone, even if they're not doing anything.
Oh, on his record forever. Why in the heck would that be on his record forever? That's awful.
Because if he was actually a heinous asshole who did those things, then, he might deserve it. But he was not. So, unfortunately, he's just kind of screwed unless he can do something about it. But,
yeah. I just saw a comment about Rachel Mitchell. We never heard anything back from them. I wonder what date that was sent. It's been the never-ending saga. Let me look in my Dropbox real quick.
Here is my ticket to the party and my TPO filing fee. I don't want LO within 500 feet of me. Thank you, Karen. What? What does that mean? Severe rejection sensitivity. That's right, Henrietta. That's certainly what it seems like.
I think Karen wants a protective order.
Sounds like it. Okay, I didn't realize the filing fee is I'm thinking about like all of the lawyers like filings and stuff like that. I'm like, for these stupid like frivolous things, you're paying more to file them than you are ever going to get out of people. So like, it's kind of funny. So yeah, but I'm sure the filing fee isn't actually $5 because that would just be crazy. So you wrote them was it like a letter back in December or November?
Yeah. It was December, correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
And they never said anything to you? Yeah, okay. So I guess it's been
maybe
probably...
they did send something back. I get so many emails, but I feel like I would have seen that.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Did they ever give you any response as far as the Attorney General goes? I can't remember.
I think it got dropped.
Oh, I mean, okay, that's fine. Yeah, but still, kind of weird that they wouldn't say anything to you.
I completely agree. I've not heard a damn thing. I did say in my last email to them, I go, we will no longer be responding to this nonsense. It's here's an entire Dropbox full of everything that you would need to know regarding this situation. And if you have any further questions, you can feel free to call me, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth.
Here's a video on how to sync audio, and here's the proof that it happened. Oh, man. That's so crazy.
Yeah, we sent that to Rachel Mitchell's office December 8th.
Okay. So it's been a little over a month. Yeah, I don't know. This has been going on for a long time. I mean, obviously she was referred for charges a long time ago, and I don't know the timeline on these things usually. I'm not like holding my breath, I guess, at this point, because I'm like, what are you... The last time she... Like Rachel Juarez said, the last time she said anything about this was shortly before election. So it's kind of like, okay, well, then was that just like a chip that you played? Or like what's happening here?
Yeah, it's really crazy. What's going on with Judge Mata?
So he filed some kind of complaint against her, and it's still pending, which for some reason he considers that to be a good thing. He was saying like all the other ones on the list with like different judges, not her. Let me pull it up actually so we can see what exactly he said. All the other complaints had been like either resolved or dropped or something, I think is what he was trying to say, but hers is still open. He's like, what do you think that means? Or I don't know. Somebody sent me a screenshot, so let me go find it.
One theory is that the county prosecutors are waiting for the appeal process to resolve itself before doing anything, which could...
How long is that supposed to take? Like, when is this shit supposed to
take a while?
Guys, oh my god. So earlier today, I went into Dave's Discord, and I wanted David to talk about I wanted him to talk about the phone call he had with your lawyer, but I know you're not going to do it because you're a sensible person, and so is your lawyer. So I was like, well, what if I say something and it makes him want to like tweet about it or make a video about it? So I did. I said, I went to Dave's Discord where I know Laura screenshots and sends to David all the time. And I said, guys, I think David lied about having a call with the PS creative lawyer. And he tweets a screenshot of it. Like, you totally took the bait, you asshole. Like,
really?
He didn't do a video like talking about the call or anything like I wanted him to, so it didn't really work out the way I wanted to, but it's actually fucking hilarious.
So you wait until I'm not around. You wait until I'm not around to moderate the Discord, and then you go in there and cause trouble.
Correct.
Well, I can't even stop you, Lauren.
No, this is actually fucking hilarious. So I said two things. I said, hey, I think David lied about having a call with the PS creative lawyer. And then I also said, I think he also lied about the 911 call. I trust my sources. And I was like, he's totally gonna, like, they're totally gonna fall into this. And they did. That's hilarious. But I haven't blocked, so I didn't see this until now. I guess he posted this 2 hours ago or something. It says, when you see this in that case, Lauren, saying, I think that means two things. One, you're about to be lied to. I actually did lie that time, but it was for you, not for them. And two, no actual thinking was involved. I mean, there was a lot of thinking that went into that. I was totally gaslighting the shit out of Laura with that one. And it's hilarious that she fucking fell for that. Because I'm like, I see you. I know you're here. I know you're creeping on me and looking at everything that I say. And she went ahead and proved it.
We're not on the circle. Netflix isn't going to come out and give you $1,000, Lauren. Oh my god.
Okay, so this is what you were talking about earlier with the signature. No, that's hilarious, and I can show you a screenshot that I took on Discord right before I posted that in Dave's, where I told some people.
Can you please?
On like where what do you want to see?
Your screenshot, yeah.
So I'll show you the screenshot of what I said before I posted that in Dave's, because I was like, I'm gonna see if Laura takes this bait. Hang on, I have to send it to myself first. This is ridiculous. And then I'll show you what was said.
Also, not to just add more fuel to this. It's a good thing we are doing this for so damn long. I got to jump in a little, but just got an email from the Arizona State Bar. And I just got an email from the Arizona Attorney General's office.
Just
We do
now?
not
Are they
require
watching
anything
this
further from you
stream?
at
Oh
this
my
time.
God.
All literally 3:20 is when I got the response from the Attorney General.
What did
So
they say?
20 minutes ago. And
it's
4 minutes ago, I
4:27.
got the AZ bar email.
Oh my gosh. Are they watching this stream? They're like, we should send.
Oh yeah,
something.
we should probably start responding. Get back on our
Yeah.
correspondence.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, this is crazy.
Sorry, I did not actually hear what you said about what the contents were because I was too busy trying to find this freaking screenshot. Hang on. I found it.
Have you even read these emails yet?
The one from Attorney General, yes, I did just read, and they're like, we don't need anything from you, you're good. And then State Bar, that one is a little bit longer, so I do need to read that, and I like quickly skimmed it.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
All right, wait, hang on. I almost got it. Okay, I sent it to myself, so give me 1 second. Let me hide the screen just in case I need to hide anyone's info or anything like that. But
no, Winks is gonna have to put out the dumpster fires you started in Discord, Lauren.
I'm sorry. I figured everyone would forgive me once they figured out what I was doing. I really thought he wasn't gonna do it. I was like, really like, oh, I guess they're just gonna ignore that. That's actually fucking hilarious, though. No, not that.
The long and short story of this, in terms of the State Bar, is they appreciate my patience as they are still investigating. There's a little bit more to it, but I'm not gonna lay it all out. Let's get back to you.
That's not necessary. Not everybody has to put their business out there right away. I know, but that's just how the other side works in this one. So you're doing fine. Okay, so this was today at 11:37 a.m. Okay, I'm about to do an experiment in Dave's Discord. I'm going to sound like a nut job, but just go with it. I know Laura rushes to jump on everything, so I just want to see if he will do a video talking about what I'm saying. What I'm saying in there is not true at all, and I'll tell everyone that later.
Wait, where'd you post this?
This was in a separate Discord chat that I have with some other people, but I can't show their names.
Oh, private messages. Okay.
Yeah, private messages. And then here we go. Hang on. Back to here, this is fucking hilarious. Oh my god, I can't tell you how happy this makes me.
This is too Game of Thrones.
This was 9:38. 9:38. Hey, I think David lied about having a call with the PS creative lawyer. I'll be on with Leila at 5 p.m. Eastern. We can ask her then.
I mean, that's what we're doing.
But like, you know too that I already knew that your lawyer talked to him because I asked you about it.
Oh,
you did. Well, you asked me last night, and I said I don't even know what they talked about because I haven't talked to him. I've been at tennis for the last 2 hours, and it's now what I left at 8 o'clock at night, so I wasn't gonna be like, "Hey, let me interrupt your special time with your family after hours to ask you about this dumb shit."
Yeah. I cannot even tell you how fucking
we know the guy loves phone calls, and we know he loves lunch. So we know, he's got two passions in life.
I'm not paying for my lawyer to go to lunch with him. I draw a line. I'm sorry.
You will file a motion to compel
$500 lunch, $500 an hour lunch. No way. We have to have some boundaries here, sir.
Jesus
boy, expensive lunch.
All right. Well, it looks like I gotta go, guys, because I have something I have to do right at 6, and that's only less than 10 minutes away now. So, was there anything else we missed that you wanted to talk about?
That's it for now. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. And I know that her representation is gonna, share whatever they talked about, my lawyer and her. So we can all just tune into that. Give them some views, guys.
Yeah, well, I will prefer to troll in the back channels because clearly it's working.
Good grief.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe that actually fucking worked.
It's gonna be even harder.
I can't get over it. I can't believe that actually worked.
I cannot believe that either. And I can't believe I got 2 emails for the same shit, different aspects within the hour. What a day.
Oh man. All right. Well, we'll have you on again whenever you have another update for us. I know everybody likes to see you on the stream, so you're a fan favorite for sure.
Thank you for being so patient. I know we planned this like over a week ago, and everyone's like, "Who does that?" Like, busy people. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for coming. Bye. Hang on 1 second.